Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Keegan Podcast. This will be our second episode, and I'm being joined here by Nick. How does it feel to be here, buddy?
It feels greatly, and I'm here, just a little bit about me. I am a lawyer at the Keegan Sanderson Lawsuit Corporation. I played the role of the Great Keeg inside of the movie, which is fan-decided the most exciting part of the movie. And I did not actually die. That was only movie magic. Amazing editing when I fell on the floor, and the explosion. That was great. Anyways, that's a bit about me now.
All right. Well, I am Layton Cook. I am the host of this amazing show. You might remember me from some of the other bits I have done. For example, the mathematical way to find who asked. I was the one who actually drew on the board and did the talking. So that's where you might recognize me. But now we are doing a podcast. So first topic, editing decisions. Can you go over briefly like how you made decisions in editing? What inspired you to do certain editing decisions? Because it's such the Keegan Sanderson movie. It's such a varied editing style, right? Sometimes it's continuous. Sometimes it's flowy, but other times it's really choppy and really just intense. So can you explain to me how you made certain editing decisions?
So yes, with the editing decisions, editing was not my main thing. I did give suggestions because as one of the directors of the movie, I had to talk to Noah about that. So one of the editing decisions is low budget death animation. Right. When you saw inside the movie, what we did is we actually just took the frame and we rotated it to the side because it looks exactly like somebody laying on the floor.
Exactly, right.
Even if you can rotate your head, they would be standing up, but then the other person would be lying down. It kind of gives a feeling of disbelief. Like if you turn your head, oh wait, which one died? But no, of course you're watching the movie upright, so then it makes it more apparent. It's like a mysterious way of editing the death.
Yeah.
As for some of the direct cuts... those were just to quickly advance the plot. We wanted to go through the plot of the story as fast and as smoothly as possible.
Right.
Even though if it wasn't a smooth transition, a straight cut to the next scene makes it kind of like a quick dramatic change of events.
Right.
Another editing decision that we made is we occasionally slowed down things or even changed the filter on the video. Right. One of which you've seen is also pauses at the introduction of pretty much every new character. Yeah. We pause the video, and the pausing of the video is to give the introduction to the viewers. The viewers can give it time to observe the character and kind of make stereotypical assumptions about who this character is going to be like. So I found it as a very interesting way to kind of give the audience a way to connect with our movie, and it really made it a more in-depth thing, which is why a lot of people enjoyed it a lot. And slowing down bits, dramatic effect. Everybody likes when it slows down. Even if you speeding it up, dramatic effect. Right. And because we are such a low budget movie, you may occasionally have seen items edited into the thing. Like when Keegan was training inside the movie, he was lifting the dumbbells inside the movie. Those were completely fake. I don't know how you guys could tell if they were, but they were top-notch editing skill. You're going to have to thank Noah for that, everybody. So yes, make sure that you thank Noah for that amazing editing. And that's how he created probably one of the cinematic masterpieces inside of our lifetime. Yeah.
So another question I have about editing specifically is in the beginning of the movie, right? All the characters are introduced, Evans, Sandercock, Keegan Sanderson, I think as well, Oliver. All these different characters that are introduced. They had a weird outline or glow around them. What was the thought process behind that? What made you go with that editing decision?
So for a lot of people, because of all the action going on at the screen at the time, they can easily get distracted by even the smallest things inside of each corner of the screen. So by adding a glowing outline, it also created almost, because we used different colors during that, I believe, or maybe different glowing amounts inside of it. So when we did that, each character, because they have different archetypes inside of it, it's the villain, the hero, which is obviously Keegan. The outline kind of emphasized the look on them, made them more of a direct character. It gave them the characterization that we were going to use inside the movie, as well as giving them the center of attention of the entire frame, while dimming out the rest of it because of the glow.
Okay. So now we're done with editing decisions. We might go into this a little more into other episodes, but I would like to do that with a floor cast because this is a one-on-one interview. We're gonna be doing more of these later, by the way. Make sure to keep tuned in. Subscribe. Yeah, these will be filmed every Tuesday, uploaded every Wednesday. So get ready for that. Next up, I want to just touch on with you with the writing decisions because the Keegan Sanderson movie, not only is it excellent in terms of visuals, it's excellent in terms of storytelling. It's such a deep, beautiful story, right? There's so many layers to it, and it just flows so well. Can you just go through your thought process with some like the plot decisions, like how you made it flow so well?
So, one of the things about this is collaboration. Collaboration was probably the main way that we made such a detailing, connecting story for our audience.
Yeah.
We had many different villains, like unnamed villains that Keegan went through his training phase beating him. All of that came from like the community. Our epic community was able to request parts inside of the movie, and they were kind of able to bring a even more sense of connection for them personally into the movie. It's like a very cool community collaboration thing that we made. And with our lead board of writers, we made sure that the story was the most plot twisting story to express that feeling of like, wow, I did not expect that.
Yeah, especially the Oliver plot twist.
Especially, right at the end, nobody has seen a movie where the main character dies.
Yeah.
Since Avengers Endgame.
Yeah, exactly.
Infinity War.
Infinity War, yeah.
Don't copyright that.
Yeah.
But that was an excellent movie. It leaves anticipation.
Right.
This is why we have so many Keeglanders that want to continue to experience this great cinematic masterpiece. It would definitely bring more people in.
Right.
It's a way that it traps the people into always wanting to know more.
Yeah.
By creating such a detailed, such a surprising storyline.
Right.
And that's why we are happy to announce that we're actually in the works of the next movie.
Ooh. All right.
More about that later.
More about that later. Yeah, we're going to go into leaks about that movie in just a tiny little bit. I just want to talk about some other things, though, right? Going more into the writing, I want to go a little more in depth on this, I guess, topic of like the writing decisions you guys made. So you guys talked about how you made it flow really well, how you made the story really interesting. I want to go into the characters because that's a really underrated part of the Keegan Sanderson movie. Now, of course, people like to talk about it, right? So about the characters of about the movie, right? How did you make certain like writing decisions for like what these characters should be doing and how their persona should be?
So with the characters inside of the movie, we were able to kind of express who they were through their.
No. Keep going. It's beautiful.
Sorry, we have like a couple of interruptions in the studio here.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
However,
Some military operation just occurred out there. I think it should be over now. I think they're all dead. So.
Okay, so continuing on that, our characters, their personalities, we express those very in close links with their actions. Keegan, he's a very like persistent, very enthusiastic character. He wants to be the best again, which was the entire plot of the movie. So we made his actions kind of go in depth to the perseverance for this certain thing. In terms of like enemies, like we had Keegan Sandersock and Gabriel Gritty.
Gritty, of course.
Gabriel Gritty was probably the most in-depth character. He seemed almost like of no interest to he had no interest in Keegan throughout the entire movie. He almost like he was a cast member that didn't want to be in the movie. It was it was definitely a way of expressing this character because he's on such a different power level than Keegan that he was completely unfazed by any of his like attacks towards him.
Right.
It kind of made him shown as a powerful character. Many other characters inside the movie, such as he and Sanders, he was very enthusiastic about fighting Keegan. Now that shows almost like a sense of equal rivalry between the two. They have almost equal power sets, and that's why Keegan was actually able to defeat him quite early on inside of the movie before he beat the other two. Gabriel, he did not die. He actually disappeared, which could be in the next movie. I will not say anything else about that. And then the Watcher was very, very slightly mentioned there. Pretty much nothing really happened with him. He was just kind of there, but he's kind of like an ominous figure. It kind of brings in that personality of, oh no, this guy shows up.
Yeah.
And then Oliver, he is just a psycho inside the movie.
Exactly, yeah.
He went out of his way. He's on a higher power level. He's on almost the same power level as Gabriel Grady, but instead of being completely unfazed by Keegan, completely uninterested in him, he takes pleasure in tormenting Keegan by unaliving him inside of the movie because Keegan did not become the best within the time frame that was so mysteriously chosen by the forces of storytelling.
Yeah.
So just about the characters, we really link their actions with their personality, and it made it a very interesting and almost a very relatable story because everybody has those people in life that kind of actions have reflect their personalities, and it gives the viewers to something to connect with the movie. It makes it a very good cinematic masterpiece.
Now, there's this one scene I wanted to touch on. You touched on about it like a little earlier in the question that you just answered. It was the Oliver plot twist. It's such a beautiful cinematic moment, probably one of the greatest of all time. I just want to touch a little more into it. How did you guys figure out that this was the perfect way to run the scene? The beautiful plot twist, the "What's up, dog?" It was absolutely iconic. How did you do it?
So I was not much involved inside of that. I did give it a go to that, but we would have to talk to some of our other writers. Noah's definitely one of them. Keegan had some influence. And Oliver, he was actually one of our community members that reached out and said that he would like a part, and now he's like pretty much a Hollywood star.
Yeah.
He was able to create that plot twist, and now our viewers are so like invested inside of this movie. They want to continue seeing. They want to see Oliver fall down to Keegan and beg him for mercy, which I'm sure we could make something like that eventually inside of the series. I don't know how far that is right now because currently we're only in the production stages of our next movies, and we've been on a side hustle doing like TV shows and other marketing for our country company and all the other services that we have to offer.
All right. So let's go a little more into the cast, all right? Because like I just want to know, how did you decide on these cast members? Because they acted their roles, like all of them could probably win any award if they wanted to. They were just amazing actors in this movie. How did you find these people and how did you recruit them?
So here at the Keegan Sanderson Lawsuit Corporation, we have many different employees and staff. The main group is Noah and I as Noah the founder and I the co-founder, where we had made the website for the company and started our nice origins. Keegan was the sort of mascot that then became like the higher source of power for our company. It made it having us as the cast members and directors kind of like gives a symbolical effect to the characters, making them like, because this is a story about Keegan Sanderson, it almost links in a similar way to this is the story of how this company was made. Because in that case, the evil Keegan Sanderson that we mention on our website and that we are putting the class action against, you see, he could be symbolized by Oliver as the evil one that's trying to take down Keegan. And that's kind of something that I found interesting. It wasn't even intentional. When we made the movie, we chose the characters that almost embodied the way that our company rose from the ground up, as well as many other people can relate to something just rising up, making it a very... so choosing the characters, it made it very easy for the audience to connect because their personalities were chosen by them based on how well they could act them out.
Yeah.
Oliver makes a great villain. Keegan makes a great courageous hero as the center of the story. And Noah makes a great cameraman. He was able to film all of the scenes, most of the scenes. I believe he filmed all of them. I'm not quite sure. I wasn't there during all of the stages of production. And then I, as I was able to play the great role of the great Keeg and die like 30 seconds after I entered the frame, which was a very interesting experience. I will say we are in the very room where this happened.
Yeah.
And John, being a very good motion actor, was able to, on spot with that eyebrow raising, he was able to, I don't know if that was acting or did I really die from that, because that was absolutely on point.
It was absolutely amazing.
Dylan has like a almost mysterious character. This doesn't really reflect his personality, as he's a great guy.
Right.
But he was able to act out that personality in such a way that made him the perfect cast member for that role. Connecting the cast members with the characters to a personal level and their own abilities was able to make it a very good actor, like very good acting was able to go throughout the movie, and that's what makes it really stand out from all the other cinematic movies made out there.
All right, so real quickly, as the co-founder, you probably have a story for how the Keegan Sanderson Corporation actually came into existence. So could you actually, real quickly, just tell the story for the people who don't know? How did the Keegan Sanderson Corporation actually become founded?
So it became founded out of discovery of this evil Keegan Sanderson, and we decided to set a class action against each other, but nobody was willing to take up the case. So we decided that we would make our own company and take him down ourselves. And the rest is pretty much confidential information, so I cannot share much of it. I'm sure we can do a release of the timeline into the future sometime, but right now we have confidential information, and I'm not legally allowed to share, or I will be lawsuited by my own company.
Yeah, that would definitely not be a good thing.
I would also get fired, and I would not be able to star inside another one of these interviews. So moving on from that.
All right, so let's go into the lore from after the movie. You might be getting into new movie territory, so I'm not exactly sure how much you can reveal about that. But I just want to know, how much can you reveal about what happens after the Keegan Sanderson movie, but in between the new movies? There's got to be some space in between them, right? It's not going to be right after. So can you explain what events happen in between those movies?
So in between the movies, I'm sure we could make almost a mini series about this.
Yeah.
Similar to with the Star Wars stuff they threw in Rogue One in between two of the movies. But it won't be that nearly long of a time period as we are having Keegan resurrect from his death by Oliver.
Yeah.
Quite a short time after. So I'd say pretty much the only things that actually happen in between there is Oliver gets stronger due to the defeat of his largest threat.
Yeah.
Whereas potentially some of the characters will be resurrected by that dark power being spread throughout all of the area.
Right.
It's a very dark plot. It actually leaves us room to bring back some of the fan favorite characters if we were going to do that, or even some new, more in-depth, more relatable characters that the audience will really enjoy.
Yeah. All right. So now let's go into the leaks of the movie. Let's go into the meat and potatoes of what we're going to be doing here. You can't go into everything. I know that. To be fair, you probably shouldn't go into everything, but can you tell us are there any continuations between the first Keegan Sanderson movie, which is out right now, and the second one?
Currently, we're evaluating villains. Who's going to be the main threat to Keegan inside this movie? And obviously, Keegan has to resurrect inside this movie. He's died at the end of the last one. That would be pretty bad if we gave a movie his name without actually having him in the movie.
Yeah.
So villains is what we're focused on mostly. It's who's going to be the higher power that Keegan's trying to take down. We don't have much of a plot set. It's a very loose, open to change type of plot. We need hopefully new characters, hopefully old characters.
Yeah.
And we want to try to keep... Currently, Oliver and Gabriel are the strongest opponents there. We could definitely pull a... plot twist there and say that they're working under the same boss, but that would be a bit confusing. We could work that around if we wanted to. Potentially we could throw the Watcher in there, but we have three. The Watcher, Oliver, and Gabriel are kind of our top enemies right now because of how strong they are. If we could... Resurrecting Bat Guy would make him actually a worthy opponent to Keegan, because he was kind of caught off guard inside the first movie when he died.
Yeah.
But because of this dark energy that's spreading in between the movies, it could, from Oliver, it could be one of the things that resurrects Bat Guy inside this case, making him maybe one of our more important villains inside of this next movie. As for other stuff, we don't know the direct plot. It's probably going to be Keegan getting his revenge. He's seeking revenge for his death. So at his by epic movie logic, he's going to be resurrected,
obviously,
by some force, or just on his own because he's too strong.
Yeah.
And he could definitely go, and the plot would be to take down the higher powers of evil. And that's pretty much all I can leak right now, as that's pretty much all I actually have. So there wouldn't be any much of spoilers inside of there, so you guys are all left on a cliffhanger now.
All right. So I know that you said you're not going to say anything else that's confirmed, but can you go into more stuff that you guys are actually discussing? Because an interesting idea that I actually thought of is that, from what I can tell, the black magic that's spreading everywhere, it's actually a little more local. Maybe like the state, at most, maybe a couple of different states. What if you make it so that there's a black magic sort of like league all over the world, and you get like a lot of international characters, right? That can open up the cast a lot more, and that can allow for a lot more creative direction. Is anything like that going to happen? And if not, or if so, what else can you reveal? Like what may or may not be in the movie?
So I actually like that idea a lot. That could leave room for more like interesting movie elements, where per se we could say that Oliver activates some machine that goes down to the core of the earth and spreads it throughout the entire international globe. We could also include some other way of him activating this, but spreading the dark energy could revive and make people loyal to Oliver or whoever else is going to be the main enemy, giving Keegan a real challenge of who to fight. It would definitely result in a lot more of the fighting scenes, and because of the international aspect of that, it could allow much more relatability to our audience.
Yeah.
Depending on how many people watch it and where they're from. So doing that could actually be a very good way of spreading around the movie, making it more appreciated around the world.
Yeah. Especially on Bilibili, because it was uploaded on Bilibili, right?
It was uploaded on Bilibili. People in China and Asia and whoever accesses Bilibili on a regular basis are able to see our movie.
Yeah.
Not dubbed or subbed. I don't believe we dubbed them or subbed them. We could probably sub them, but I don't know how to speak the languages over there. We could get Google Translate to do that for us.
We could also get a couple people at the IA, because there's a large Chinese community here, so we can get some voice actors there.
We could get some voice actors. But just for like posting it on foreign websites to get them, we'd have to translate it to different languages to help our international community grow. But yeah, spreading this around while also making it open to everybody to be like a cast member would be a great idea for the company. It would really allow us to expand, and it would just bring more enjoyment to the world as our company strives to do that with our entertainment media.
Right. All right. So we're done with all of our topics. I just want to know, is there anything else you want to talk about, like yourself, or is there any other comments you would like to make?
So I don't think I have many other comments. This is kind of almost a self-promotion advertisement.
Yeah.
As our Origins of a Lawsuit company, if you ever find yourself offended or legally assaulted in any way, contact us. We are based inside the Republic of Keegan, inside of Africa at the moment. So we have quite a bit of land there, in between Egypt and I forgot the other country, but that's fine. Contact us if you've been legally offended, and we can get you a lawsuit set up, and join the class action. And stay tuned for more movies, shows, podcasts, and any other media that we're making here. So that's all I have to say. Thank you for having me.
All right, everyone. This has been the Keegan Sanderson Podcast, episode 2. That is the end. I hope you all enjoyed. I will see you later, boys.